Okay, everybody should be able to hear me. Chase here, Chase Batful. These guys are going to get it set up. They were just commentating. But bear with me here as I open up chat and everything. Oh, maybe that's why I wasn't showing. No, it wasn't that. Chats.
It's going to be separate FO on FO. I don't think it's
Here. Manager. Okay, cool. Got everybody here. I am back and here. All we got to do is change out Cisco's list. So let me head over to the ERSB. Oops, don't do that one.
Yeah, she is. Good wife. I say that. You read the book on it, right? Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of.
You sent me my own list.
I did?
Yeah.
How?
Oh no, it's the Dan. I see. I just was looking at the wrong thing. Like, huh? Okay. Kylo in the silencer. Shattering Proud. Now we're going to have FO on FO Training Simulator here. Pattern Analyzer, Proton Torpedoes, which is super dirty. Next, LaHughes in the SF. LaHughes is SF, Marksmanship.
I might have some extras that you want me to dig around.
Hughes. I'm going to try to beat them on setup, but we'll see if I get there. Barrage, Special Forces Gunners. If you don't know what these mean, that's okay. Special Forces is 0?
Yeah, it's kind of...
I mean, I guess because you need it on that ship, so it makes sense. It's basically a title.
Yeah, but they didn't give it the best treatment.
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like I've never seen one without it, and if I have, I'm not scared of it. So it makes sense that they would just points or cost them as according to it has Special Forces Gunner always. Mal with Cluster. Scorch, who's an FO. Look at me remembering things, maybe somewhat. Yeah, he is. Crackshot Fanatical. God, Cisco and his crack.
Hey, man, don't have to call me out like that.
You always have to have one, don't you?
I have a problem.
Oh, you didn't put it on DT, though. Wow. I'm proud of you. I'm just kidding. Giving you crap. Marksmanship, PA. Actually, that's just better. Wait, but you can do the same thing on Scourge.
Scorch doesn't like putting it on Elijah because you get a stress to do your dice. You have to be unstressed. That's the plot cost.
I guess. Oh, but why don't you... You could do optics on either of these, too.
Yeah, I have, but people say I'm wrong for the optics. So it's like...
It was wrong before because you had shield upgrade. Now it might not be. But, fair.
I got my crack.
Control-A, Control-C. Yet another stream. Edit. View.
Yeah, this is... You're basically playing the ultimate. Wait, is that from Blackstone? Yeah. I was like, do I recognize? Yes. That's how you know it doesn't. Good. After really not liking it.
Cool. Okay. How's it going? Good. Good. Cisco, Norby. I think I'm all set. I officially beat you guys on setup, so... I officially beat you on setup. We stream and then we will eventually post on YouTube, yes. So, yeah. We're live right now. Huh? 512 Austin X-Wing. All one word, no space.
So I think this is my thing with Star Wars. Leads, once it like my friend made this
Yep.
statement of once Star Wars tries
Thank
to
you.
do Star
There you go.
Wars,
Thank you very much.
No problem.
that's what
If you ever want to learn to play,
I
that makes
have
sense.
a I have played. It's
The
just
Force Awakens was
I didn't have anyone to play it,
Force
so
Awakens was just a
the
callback to the old ones.
the sets that I have are just covered in dust right now.
right.
Stuck with the changes.
Yeah, well, we're here every Monday. We play at Game Castle Tuesdays and Dragon Slayers Thursdays. So if you ever want to get back into it, we're always happy to teach.
Last time I came here with the X-Wing, no one came.
Oh, yeah.
No,
No,
I'm just playing Warhammer.
we're here pretty consistently now. If you came really close after COVID, then that sounds about right. But we try to get at least 2 people here to play. Sometimes we don't stay super late if there's only 2 of us, just because like we're not going to play each other 3 times in a row. But generally we're around. We try to be. So
and I'm not bothered by the Emperor coming back.
I mean, he comes back on all of the things. That's true. It's like he's always come back.
Like
I was less upset about that. More upset that they announced that it was happening through Fortnite.
Yeah, fair. You did not
Like,
Palpatine was
yeah.
because Fortnite said.
There was a message from Palpatine, and I'm like, this, I don't like
And then
that.
in the opening calls, a message from Palpatine.
Yeah, right. A mysterious message airing the Emperor's return. It's like, huh?
yeah, you know, like for me, my favorite thing about Ahsoka is like it plays on that Arthurian Mike thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
I fucking love.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie right currently right now is The Green Knight.
Yeah.
So anything that's like
I was a huge fan of like the original Lord Arthur. Like,
it is fucking good. Except it doesn't really follow the joke.
oh, I mean, a lot of that stuff is written really.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually good. Hey, you can come with me, Dice.
What was that? Anybody here? Anybody here? Nope. I'm gonna share. How do I share?
I'll hassle.
Please do. Please do.
How's it going?
Good. Nobody's here, but I'm about to post. I don't see any flickering, which is good. So I think it really was the cord.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, looks awesome.
Oh, so my boss called me.
Oh, really?
She was like, "Hey, you want to come in and do like a half day tomorrow?" And I was like,
No, I'm staying
she was
late
like,
tonight.
No, she was like, "Do you want to?" I'm like, honestly, Grace and I's only day off tomorrow, and we kind of had plans. And she was like, "Oh, that's fine." I'm like, so
Yeah.
she was cool about it. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
appreciate
they
that.
have to be because they can't like make you
No,
come
I
in
know.
when you're already
And,
guaranteed off.
It's one of those. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but
No, the funny thing is, she wanted to pull me into the bakery so that she could pull somebody into the deli,
so you could go back to baking.
so I could help bake and make sure everything was fine.
That doesn't blow up.
Because of the big walk that's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So you're streaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good now. Alrighty. Two crits in it. You got it with the crits. Who wants a box? Oh, everyone wants a box. Everyone gets a box. No, I'm just fine with stuff. I wouldn't use me as a wrestler for the other people, though. That's the difference. You have 1 and 1. I don't.
I'm excited to play them more.
Good reason to break out the epic stick. Somehow they got into orbit. Don't know how that happened. But... Oh, yeah, the special. Of course. Lando's special ones he doesn't share with the public.
They can feel the freaking blast.
Yeah. But I just couldn't get back out. It was stuck in atmosphere at that point.
Right, you're just like, wait. We don't do all we do the math on field.
Randall, I love you. You're the best. You're going to see some X-Wing, and I'm sure you don't understand it, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it's spaceships flying around and shooting spaceships. And it is a lot of fun. And sometimes dice affect it. Yeah, it's quite good. We have First Order versus First Order. In general, you have 7 factions, any kind of era of Star Wars you can think of, and you get to build a list that has characters from those factions that fly together in the ships. So anything you really think of in Star Wars that you know and love, it's probably in the game. But for now, this is First Order versus First Order, which is... They're kind of uncommon right now. They're kind of the high skill floor, high skill ceiling list, so it's really hard to do well with them, but if you're good with them, they are so annoying to deal with. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think this is Cisco's first time playing this list. I believe Dan played this last week. Did you play this last week?
I tweaked Blackout because he had some great advice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, PA Optics is...
This is like my third
It's so good.
order with,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, the good thing is First Order is a lot like Resistance of, like, each pilot is going to do their own thing, but they don't work too hard together. So it's easier to, I feel like it's easier to nail down all your triggers. So triggers, we say, all of these little upgrades here all impact how the game plays by having a special ability. And it can be fun, but there are sometimes, like if you look at Kylo Ren on either side, they've got a ton of upgrades, which means they have a lot more abilities that you kind of have to track and remember. And they all kind of start in different times. So it's a lot like Magic the Gathering. I know you love Randall. In that the timing is very important for a lot of them. You kind of have to go through and read and know the rules and behind it. And if you miss it, you miss it. And just like Magic, there are maze and you have to do this. So sometimes you roll it back because there was no option. You just had to do it. So we'll try to help them out here. Relatively standard. Upon looking, crippling addiction, never. Yeah, see, this is my issue with this game is that it took my cardboard addiction and turned it into a plastic addiction. So I literally have 14 now of the same ship, and I can only fly like 5 at a time, maybe 6 if I really tried hard. So I only need at most 6. But it became this issue of, okay, I'm going to all these different game stores. I need to support them some way. So I'll just buy more of the ship. Why not? And all of a sudden, here I'm at, I've got 14 of them. So it's a little dumb, but it's fun. Yeah, it is a lot like Magic with dice. The dice can definitely make or break a game more than... I mean, I guess bricking in Magic is still a thing. And there are ways around both. So, like, the list I was just playing basically does its best to say... The dice are always going to work to my favor, and even then sometimes they fail. But you try your best. The other important thing is that all of these ships have a different attack and evade value. So you roll anywhere from 0 to 3 on both of those spectrums as a base. So, this Blackout character up there is 3 attack dice, 3 defense, which is the best stat line you can have. Versus a generic TIE fighter is 2 attack dice, 3 defense, and sometimes even down to 2 2s or 0 defense if you're a giant ghost-like ship, which is like the Star Wars Rebels, big ship. And those can impact how you fly. So most of these ships fly what we call ace, which is doing your best to not get shot while also putting in decent shots. Kind of glass cannon-y, but also sometimes not, because you have so many evade dice that you should be able to evade some pretty big hits. Versus like a Millennium Falcon they're fast and they hit real hard, but they're only rolling 1 evade and they're not hard to track down, so they kind of are playing a ticking time bomb of how much damage can I do and how fast can I do it. And if I get low, can I get out of the situation and keep my points? Because everything in this is scored based on either the scenarios, which this one is assault. Yeah.
We're doing the same one.
Oh, salvage. So this one is pick up a box and run. The other main way of scoring is killing a ship, and each ship is worth a certain amount of points. So if you fully kill a ship, you score that many points. Yeah, I'll start a timer. Yeah. Oh, I got you. You can just go. Let me start time real quick. Stop. And just going to go up to here. And start. Okay. So back to this. Everybody has a point value associated to them. So you look at Blackout at the top. You can see the kind of 5s in the quotations. That means he's worth 5 points. If you kill him, you score 5 points. You play to 20 or until time is out. And then you have ships like Kylo Ren on the other side is worth 7 because he's so insanely good that he's worth that many points. So it can be a lot of jockeying and positioning for where you can score or not. I mean, my last game, I was playing a list that was very much so get in and pressure people and kill things, and the dice kind of went the opposite direction, so I had to play I'm going to grab this objective and run and really fortress as many points as possible, and ended up winning. But it was, you had to have to switch last second, and I think that's a little more than Magic gets to sometimes. But I could be thinking like my old combo list that never worked in Magic. So we're starting out here with, I believe, Scorch going 5 straight.
No, Scorch 2 straight.
Oh, so that's DT.
No, that's Liquid.
Oh, okay. So Scorch and Scorch and DT are in the middle.
Scorch and DT, yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to remember which one is which. There's Scorch and DT. So Scorch and DT are 2 cheapo guys. They're both 3 points. Pretty easy they're hard-ish to kill just because they roll 3 evades, but they don't normally hit that hard. But they have ability to add dice if you gain a negative token. We saw LeHughes, who's initiative 5, move a 5 straight and take a focus, and then Malorus 5 straight, and now seeing Kylo Ren 5 straight. Way movement works. Oh, Cisco always destroys. MSW, do we know, is that Mark? Norby, do you know who MSW is? MSW 0022? Oh, y'all got fancy. MSW, who are you? Am I forgetting? I haven't seen that name, so I apologize. But glad to have you. Cisco always destroys us too. He is. So I was thinking about this. You, at least just based on flat tournament performance, I think you're the best player at Austin currently.
What?
You've won 2 store championships. Both go to final. Both good wins. You did well you got to Worlds. You got through LCQ, went to Worlds. So that's already above. That puts you on tie with Tegan.
Okay.
You've won more than Tegan and play more consistently.
Yeah.
So I think just based on like tournament and also like you win. What was your record with the Republic list?
Oh, I can pull it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's something ridiculous, like 12-4, or something weird. So I think you might have the title currently.
18 wins, 6 losses.
Yeah, that's such a good. That's a 75% win rate. That's insane. So I think you're arguably best player in Austin just based on purely statistical stuff. Now, if we get in your head, it's all downhill from there. Yeah, mental warfare with Cisco, but we're seeing the Whisper Kylo. So same pilot technically as Cisco's Kylo Ren, but it's in a different chassis of ship. This one is cheaper and not quite as effective, but is really, really annoying if he gets into you because he can jam, which removes your green tokens and modifications, which are the way that you fix your dice to help you out. If you don't have modifications, the dice very quickly go bad, and there isn't much to do about it. You can get lucky and get good dice still, but it's much less of an impact if you're now all of a sudden I'm jammed, I can't reroll, I roll 3 blanks, I'm stuck. We're seeing Blackout kind of 3 bank away and boosting forward. Kind of doesn't want to engage this I-5 block that Cisco has created in the bottom. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of toilet bowling, but we also might have some sneaky engagement in the middle. There is a session to be say, claim the middle and you kind of win, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to claim it this turn. But we'll have something. One big thing, I'm not going to talk quiet for you guys. You're going to hear me ramble. Because even if I try to whisper, you're still going to be able to hear me. So I might as well go as loud as I can and make you overthink. Yeah. So the big thing here is that Dan does have a little bit of an advantage because he is all initiative 5. Which means that while he's trading shots with Cisco's, Kylo, Hughes, and Malorus, he has potential to initiative kill Scorch and DT. The downside there is that Scorch and DT can both get 3 native red dice with their abilities, and neither are really going to care about the downsides. Scorch's stress that he gets, stress or strain, Scorch's stress. Scorch's stress won't matter, he'll do a blue next turn. DT gains a strain, which lowers your defense, but he's going to be the last to shoot, so the strain won't do anything to hurt him. He'll just do a blue next turn as well, he'll be fine. So I think that is one maybe leg up that Dan has, is that he can do something with initiative 5. However, Cisco has some scary ships in that Kylo has proton torpedoes, which is range 3, 4 dice attack, very strong, very good. And because he has native force, taking a lock and shooting proton torpedoes is something ridiculous, like 80% of the time you get 4 hits. And a natural crit, which can be really punishing on the other end. We'll see kind of where these maneuvers go. Dan has some thinking to do on how to get everybody out without self-bumping, which would kind of ruin his engagement. But there's definitely a way to do it, so I'm not too worried. We could also see some of these top and bottom ships, as far as the screen goes, pick up a box, which is when you have a box, you score 1 point guaranteed at the end of... Randall, I know you're worried. It's okay. I believe in Dan. I believe in Dan's ability not to self-bump. But if anybody picks up a box, they score 1 point per the end of the round for each box they carry. You cannot reposition while you have a box, so it's a little dangerous for some ships that want to play really AC and get out of arcs. Cisco, who won initiative? Okay, Dan won initiative, so that means his 5s will move and shoot. Okay, cool. Thank you. Cisco moving his initiative 4s first, because they will always move first in this situation. Takes a focus, getting ready to shoot. This is the other of DT or Scorch. DT.
Oh, sorry, system phase. Oh, mine's bad. Whatever. So he actually does
So system phase. He's going to decloak. So this is a cloak token, gives you extra defense if you have it. But you can also systems phase do a free reposition at the speed of 2. So Kylo decloaked 2 forward, which lowers his overall defense but allows him to shoot now. And this looks like it's going to be easier to navigate as far as not bumping. We're seeing Gaelic, I'm assuming. Gaelic doing a 3-bank and then claiming the box. So he is now the Hughes 3-bank, claim the box. So he is now carrying the cargo. He doesn't have a mod for attacking, but he's not really in any danger here. He knows he's not. He's going to score a point at the end of the round for that, and for every round he has it. The way to pop those off is to deal a critical damage to them. That was Malorus picking up a box. Gaelic, God, I'm getting it all wrong. Gaelic has a box too, so Hughes and Gaelic both have a box. So currently, at the end of the round, Dan is scoring 2 to Cisco's 1. Kylo doing a 2-bank. Okay, 2-bank, lining up that crucial bullseye. Kylo's ship is pretty special in that it has a 2-dice attack arc, or 2-dice turret, so he can either point forward or back, and it's a 2-dice shot. Or he's got a bullseye, which is only directly in front of the ship. You can kind of see it on those bottom ships, right closer to the camera. There's little lines. If you're in there, it's a bullseye, and for Kylo, that means he shoots 3-dice attacks. So he's in a good spot here to bullseye shot onto the guy. They're looking at the repositions linked actions, so Kylo can link his actions to boost and jam, which he will do. So now that he's jamming, it strips any green token or locks, and the one doing the jamming gets to decide. So he chooses the focus, which is the right call because that is Cisco's offensive/defensive mod. So now he's going to be taking a 3 dice attack and is just going to have to see what the dice give him. They could still give him 3 evades. Could happen. He could be lucky. Or they might give him 3 blanks. He can't do anything about it. 3 hard from Blackout, which is super strong. This is another 3 dice attack, native all the way around. And he can basically link any action into a reposition at the cost of a stress, which is fine because their blue maneuvers to clear those stresses are super good. I imagine we see a focus boost of some sort here.
He has natural. He has
Yeah, the ship ability. Yeah.
The intercept, not type.
Yes. So focus boost. The ship ability is after you perform an action. Ash, I love Ash. I miss Ash. Such a great cat. Say hello back. Focus boost. After you do any action, you may perform a red barrel roller boost. So here he did a focus into a boost. Going to get another range 2 attack onto that ship. Front ship is Scorch. Or sorry, Cisco's front ship. The ones that's going to get blasted.
Which one?
That guy.
What about him?
What is he?
Good. He's dead.
Scorch.
Scorch.
Scorch. Yeah, he's probably dead. So Scorch. The big thing is if Cisco did 2 hards here, he has a good chance to trade a ship, which might be very good if he's trading 3 for 3 or maybe even up. There's a somewhat of a chance he can get Kylo, which would be trading 5 for 3. So both 3 hards?
2 hard.
2 hards, got it.
I am going to take a lock action.
Yep. So both doing 2 hard. First one just takes a focus. Kylo here is going to take a lock and decide who he wants to take it on. Believe there's a right call that I will judge him for. Okay, good. He made the right call. He's lining up a proton torpedo, which means he's going to shoot 4 dice. And the other big thing is the other Kylo will not get a range bonus. So normally when you shoot at range 3, you add 1 to your evade dice, but munitions stop that. The other thing about proton torpedoes is they add a critical result at the end. And because Kylo Ren has the Force, he can automatically mod focus results. So this is going to be a big shot that he should be getting 3 to 4 hits on, unless the dice really say no. As far as objectives go, Dan has claimed 3 objectives, and Cisco has claimed 2. Dan is triggering Malorus, which is an ability that says, start of engagement, you may gain a stress token, and for the entire engagement, you change all focus results to hits or evades. Very powerful ability, especially for I-5. So 2 hits into Scorch. Scorch gets 1 evade, average, takes 1 damage. He now has 3 health left. Let me change that here. So Kylo gets hit crits, and Scorch. Natty's 3 evades, takes no damage. All that jam and effort for nothing. So primary, either range 2 or 3. He hopes for range 3 because that gives him extra defense, but it's only a 2 dice attack. Looks like range 2. Range 3 in the arc. Okay. So it's going to be 2 versus 4. Malorus mods versus no mods.
Because you're Malorus.
Yeah. Malorus changes a focus to 2 hits. Scorch rolls. Rolls enough. That's all I need. Yes. Scorch getting out, taking no damage. Now this is a big opportunity for Cisco to swing back and potentially do a lot of damage to the opponent Kylo here. Yeah, all that for 1 shield. Yeah, I mean, 3 evades, they'll do that. So, Cisco, can you roll on the table too so we can see them? Instead of the dice box. In the dice box is fine, but on the table in general.
So, you still get 3 dice because I don't have green token.
And preferably closer to the camera.
Because that is part of the game.
Yeah.
There's no range.
Yeah. So, Cisco rolls. I see 2 paint. So, tends to lock on 2 blanks. Gets... So 2 hits and a crit going into Kylo, rolling 3. So spends force for 3, dodges all the shots. Only has 1 force left, which is big because you only regen 1 force per round. So this means if he doesn't spend anymore, he'll only have 1. Lahu's Barrage Rockets into Kylo. This is another 3 dice attack, and you can spend another charge to reroll any number of dice. Does have a focus mod.
Do I have that bullseye?
You for sure have the bullseye.
Well, so don't. This is stupid. Okay. Well, so the thing is, I could spend 2 charges to reroll this to see if I can make you not roll 3 dice with your jamming. Okay. But no, I am gonna spend 1 to reroll the blank.
Spends 1 to reroll 1.
I'll spend and I got box.
And focus for 2 hits and a crit.
3 crits.
3 crits, okay. Kylo rolling his 3.
Take 2 shields.
And takes 2 damage and force down. This is pretty big, because even though he only took 2 damage from those shots, he now has no force, and will have no force and 1 force next turn. We also now move to initiative 4, which is going to be Cisco's that are going to boost their attacks up to 3. So boost his attack dice up to 3 dice, and then going to shoot range 3 into Kylo. Kylo will be rolling 4 dice here because he's range 3 plus the Whisper ability. Cisco has no mods, but neither does Kylo. Nothing for Cisco. Dice swinging back. Kylo rolling a bunch, of course, on the shot that doesn't matter. Scorch. No arc into Kylo, so gets to choose either range 2 or range 3 into Malorus. Takes a stress to boost his attack dice from 2 to 3 as well. Range 3 into Malorus. I don't know if I believe in this call, but it is what it is. Natty's 3 hits. All right. Well, Malorus rolls 4. Did she blank out?
What?
She didn't. What?
She got 1 of 8.
Okay, great. Rolled 1 of 8. Yeah, roll him closer to the camera because it's just barely too far to see the paint.
So
Yeah.
Can you actually see the edge?
Yeah, I can see everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't zoom in after you adjusted it.
1 more
So
damage. Yeah. Ugh.
yeah. So Malorus takes 2 damage here from an unmodded range 3. Very, very unlucky, but she is only 3 points. So if she were to die, it's good. End of the round. Cisco scores 2 points for objectives, and Dan scores 3. 1, 2, 3. Cisco scores 2. Net positive for Dan, although Cisco has now halved, or close to halved, 2 of Dan's ships, and Kylo is in a little bit of a rough spot. There is a pathway out, but it's going to be dependent on who rolls and wins initiative, because these guys are all AC and can reposition. If Dan wins, Dan goes first, and then Cisco can react to where he is. Let me update the score. Kylo 2 shields down, only has 1 force. Lahu's untouched. Malorus shield and a hit down. Kylo has 3 hull, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Scorch took 1 and that was it.
Yes.
Dumb.
I know. That
Dumb.
was
Scorch took 1. Dumb. Your Kylo,
my Kylo's fine.
no force spent?
I spent 1, got it back.
Got it back. Okay, cool. So, while Dan does have the favor on objectives here, Cisco did pack a wallop into Dan's list, which now means Dan's going to have to play a little bit defensive. We'll see where they go from here. It's really a 50-50 of how you play this. Because they have so much overlap in initiative, you really can't bank on going first or second unless you just know in your heart of hearts that it's going to happen. Like me, I always win initiative. It just happens. That's okay. I plan for it 90% of the time anyways. Or what you do is plan for the best move that won't hurt you regardless. I believe that might be a 3 bank in either direction for Dan's Kylo. A 3 bank for Kylo left, which would be towards the right side of the board, would allow him to do something like a focus rotate or maybe a jam. And I think it breaks the ankles of the 2 TIE fighters that are down there. The only issue is that you're now taking the 3 bottom ships on Cisco's side probably have a good way to shoot you, versus the 3 bank down towards us, or the view of the camera, might do something where you get too close to his Cisco ships and you can essentially arc dodge by being so close that they either go by you or get range 0, which is a much better shot to take than a range 1 or 2. As for the rest of Dan's list, they've got a pretty easy time just to turn in as slow or as fast as they want and mod up and get ready to shoot something, because there will be something in front of them. Cisco, similar situation. He kind of just rolls in, hitting 2 crits. I believe Cisco 1 based on the fact that he has a blank. Cisco 1 initiative, meaning his 5s will move first. No systems phase anywhere. Cisco Scorch is doing a 2 hard, attempting to get in the way of Kylo and Blackout. Might just... Too long boys. He accidentally bumped the chassis to chassis, which does not count as a full bump in X-Wing, only if your base is touch, but there is some extension outside of the base, which is those Whispers just have a really long nose, longer than mine, which is pretty fantastic. Well, so this is a college buddy, so he knows. I was going to say it way worse, but I'm in public. He knows what I was going to say. And Caleb definitely knows what I was going to say. So they are now essentially getting the formation of they were hoping they would go first, or saying, even if we don't go first, we're okay with bumping. Which now clogs up the space and makes it really, really hard for Dan's Kylo to get out of this. Cisco's Kylo doing a 2 straight as well. So now we're in a situation that a 3 bank to board right maybe bumps into the back or the front of DT. Locked on Malaris. That's questionable. We'll see if it works out for him. I guess it's saying I know Malaris is going to be here, so I know I can shoot. See, Randall understood the reference, so it worked out. Malaris here taking a lock because she has her own ability to change focus mods. I believe if Dan's Kylo 3 banks down, he's going to hop over one ship and bump into the other. Cisco 1 initiative. So if he 3 banks to the left, you will bump into the second ship on the left, which will get him out of a lot of the arcs, not all of them. And then if the big brain move of going 5 straight, which might have been super clutch. I didn't even think about this until I started seeing the ships move. This is my favorite move to do. My RZ2 A-Wings do this all the time. Cisco could know this is a possibility. He just let it happen. Really, really forgetting the power of these Whispers. I say this all jokingly. Cisco's an excellent player as he gives me the stare down. I expect to see either I don't believe they have a jam rotate if that's what you're doing. Yeah, so he focus rotated. That's fine. He gets a mod. He gets to shoot something. It's only a 2-dice gun base, but he's got people at range 1, and that's really threatening. He's also pretty safe. He might get shot by Malaris, but it's range 3, maybe obstructed, which would be great. And Malaris only has a 2-dice gun, so he'd be rolling 2 attack dice versus like 5 defense. And Kylo likes those odds. Scorch.
Oh no, you might fit in between. Well, no, not a bit too hard. Too hard in between? Yeah.
Okay, so we have what we call a traffic jam here. They're going to mark one of the ship's positions so they know it for the future. He hops over one of them. Actually, rarely even went over. We should see some removal of ships here just because the noses are so long. So clears one, bumps into the other, and kind of doesn't fully execute the maneuver. Therefore, they don't get their choice in action. The only thing he can do is take a red focus. I don't know that we'll see that here because Kylo's range 0 attack isn't super threatening. Malaris has Kylo, the other Kylo, locked, so she's likely not shooting him. And the TIE fighters on Cisco's end all have out of arc. So It looks like he did take it just for extra precaution, just to be sure. That's fine. He can probably clear it. One hard from this Malorus.
You get the stress. Yes. Interesting.
Keeping the stress, which is a little tough, but it does have the Malorus ability, which says change all focuses to hits or evades. Hopefully he remembers it. I believe he will. He's a great player. We see a 2-bank here from Gaelic. He's likely just going to use an ion cannon somewhere to do an ion attack, which means you do 1 damage, and then all other hits that aren't canceled deal ions, which now restrict the movement of that enemy ship if they're ionized. We'll see if it happens. I'll explain it later. I don't feel like doing it now. 3-bank from the Hughes, which is a bigger attack. He did not wish to rotate because, as it is now, he has a 3-dice gun and has barrage rockets. So, oh, he cannot pop the drugs for Malorus, drugs being the ability, because it states if you are not stressed, you may spend a charge to do this. She is stressed, therefore she cannot spend that charge. Cisco's Kylo is going range 2 into Malorus primary. Was this range 1?
This is range 1.
Okay, so range 1 primary. So 3 pumped up to 4 because of range 1. Spends his lock.
And I'll spin 1 force.
And he gets 4 hits. Evades 1 and takes 3 damage. So that is a dead Malorus. But because they're both initiative 5, they are effectively engaging each other at the same time, which means Malorus will get to shoot back at some point. If Malorus was, say, initiative 4, the I-5s are engaging because they are a better pilot. They're engaging before her, and she would be removed before she gets to shoot. They're tied here. They're equal in pilot skill. Therefore, she will shoot at the same initiative order. This is now a shot from Cisco's Malorus into Blackout, range 2 for just 1 hit. Blackout should be fine. He's rolling 3 evades. Had a focus anyways.
Your box.
Oh yes, Malorus took a crit, therefore her box will pop off, meaning he's not scoring a point at the end of the round. And Cisco did score 3 points for killing a ship there, which puts him to 5. They're measuring for where the box pops. What happens is Cisco removes it, therefore he gets to choose anywhere at range 1 of that ship to place the box down to maybe pick up later.
We will shoot. I don't think I have bullseye into your
LaHughes into LaHughes.
I'm gonna do LaHughes on LaHughes.
Barrage rockets, I'm thinking. Yep. So this just removes the range and gives him an extra attack die. Seeing hit focus blank, gonna leave it at 1 hit, rolling 2, rolls 2 natural evades, and dodges the attack. That is it for Cisco's initiative 5s, so now it goes to Dan's. He's shooting target priority here. Cisco's Kylo only has 1 force left, which means he is limited on his defensive ability, but he is 3 evades and has 6 health total, which is why he's so expensive. Looks like we have Kylo into Kylo Violence, range 1. We'll see what the dice rolled. Yep, so 3 hits. Nothing. He could Malorus if he wanted to. He shouldn't, though. So 3. Kylo rolled 2 and evade. 1 evade and 2 focuses. Spent 1. And Kylo took a damage there. Did Kylo take a damage there? I'll wait for them to finish. It's fine. I'll go look. So hit crit into Kylo. Okay, so Kylo is shields down, getting close, getting testy. He's in a weird spot here. He's putting his most expensive piece kind of in the forefront to get shot at a bunch. Okay, now Dan's LaHughes is going to shoot Kylo with barrage rockets as well, so it's going to be 3v3. And we'll have to check for bullseye. Or he can just spend for 3 hits and call it good. Kylo rolls no evades, takes 3 damage, and alive on 1. If Dan can kill...
One of those is supposed to be marksman. Yes.
So Cisco reminding him of his marksmanship. And getting a panicked pilot, which means he gains 2 stress tokens, which now means he is very, very, very stressed and likely not to get actions next turn. I don't believe there's a way he can get an action next turn. The big thing is now his big 7-point ship that he paid a lot of points for is about to die unless dice go really poor. And if he dies, it is a huge swing in Dan's favor.
I will. Is that range 3?
Cisco bumping ships,
That
cheating.
one's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. She's dead. Doesn't matter. Just remove her. It doesn't matter. She's fine. Range 3 into Kylo. Kylo versus Kylo Violence.
No, this is Gaelic.
Gaelic into Kylo Violence. 2 off the board. Reroll. How many?
2, so I just take the 1 damage and die. Yeah.
Kylo takes 1 more and dies. Huge swing in points for Dan's favor. Puts him now to 10 total. And Blackout still has to shoot, which is another slap to the face. He is just going to choose someone and go whop. 3 dice into Malorus, who did not pop drugs. Only got 1, unfortunate. Malorus rolled 1 evade. She's fine. So now Dan's Malorus is removed. We count up objectives. Both players have 2 boxes claimed. Therefore, they will both score. Oh, no, not yet. We have 4s to shoot. Right. Cisco might have a rebuttal here.
We will take a stress.
So stress on Scorch to pump up his attack dice to 3 instead of 2. And he's going to go range 2 into Lee Hughes.
Bullseye.
So bullseye for his crack shot.
Spin.
Spends for 2 and a crit.
No crits.
Oh.
And I'll crack.
So 1 down.
Rolls 1 evade, and Cisco uses his crack shot. That is spending 1 charge to just automatically negate an evade result. So Lee Hughes takes 3 damage from that attack. Shields are down. Now we have DT doing something similar, taking a strain to roll extra dice, and will spend his focus token for 2 hits. Takes 1 more damage after rolling 1 evade, and now Lee Hughes is down to 2. That was relatively big for Cisco. It won't be too hard to clean up. Were there any crits in there?
No.
Okay, no crits. The box remains on Lee Hughes. Still down to 2. Not going to be the hardest thing in the world to kill. The only issue is that he is at initiative 5. Therefore, there's no way for Cisco to shoot him and stop him from shooting back. So it is a big gun to then you have to kind of trade opportunity with, which can be a little rough, as we saw with Malorus. She died, but then she tried to do damage back, and it ended up being in Dan's favor to have that happen. This is a very positive trade on Dan's part, because you're trading 3 points for 7. Easiest trade deal in the history of trade deals. That is like an instant yes.
You know what? I think it's as weird as it is. I think I want Analyzer on with his.
I don't think it's like doing actions after a sloop or something is always ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
So in general, I'm like.
you're in the faction that can double mod yourself after a red maneuver.
Yeah. Why am I not?
Yeah. So First Order specifically has a weird combo of a talent, which is one of the upgrades, and a tech, which is another different upgrade you can use. Each ship has certain upgrades it can and can't take. But one of the talents is Fanatical, which is specific to First Order only. And it says, if you are stressed, you may do focus actions even while stressed. Meaning, if he were to do an advanced maneuver, which is red, therefore it stresses the ship to do it, normally a stressed ship cannot perform actions. There are some things that break this rule, some pilots, some abilities like said Fanatical. The other thing they get, which is a text slot, is Pattern Analyzer, which is after you fully execute a red maneuver. Before check difficulty, which is before gaining a stress, you may perform 1 action. Which, in this case, you would take a lock or reposition, and then Fanatical would then trigger after doing the stress, because you still do your perform action step, just normally you don't have anything. So the weird steps of it all is you reveal your dial, you do that move, there's a check difficulty step of saying, I gain this for doing this. Pattern Analyzer interrupts that check difficulty and says, hey, here's an action, have fun. Then you hit your perform action step, which happens every time you do a move. Most pilots, because they are stressed, cannot perform those actions. However, Fanatical gives them the ability to say, yes, you can perform a focus action if you'd like, which is usually, yes, I would. Therefore, you get 2 actions after doing a sloop, which is more than like 95% of the game can ever do. Normally, you do a red maneuver, and you're kind of just there. You might have like the force or the ability to do one of the actions. They get it all. It rivals the ability for like Need, Numb, and Resistance, who can do a bunch while stressed or just drop the stress entirely, which is completely different circumstances. Still abuses Pattern Analyzer, but it kind of cheats in the way of this thing that is known to be super situational, and when you want to use it, First Order is kind of like, I don't care, I'm going to use it all the time. This is my thing. I don't know, whatever. So we'll see if that has any impact here. Only a couple of these ships actually have that. And I believe Cisco was saying he would prefer if his Lahus had that loadout because he would be double modded. Cisco's Kylo had it, I believe, but he died too quickly before he could use it and show off his fanciness. Definitely put Kylo in a bad spot. You kind of ran him into everything he had, or just not be in there in the first place. You turned in with your most expensive ship.
Yep, I did. All eyes, baby.
All eyes. But this is what we were saying, that like Initiative 5 is a lot harder to work with than Initiative 6.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah. So that's kind of one of the arguments of why Cisco's Kylo is kind of on the down low right now, is that you're paying this premium price, 7, which is a ton of points to pay for a ship. And he's really good. He's really strong. His stats are amazing, and his upgrades are even better. But because he's Initiative 5, right now the meta is 4 to 6. Like, sure, you might be an ace against Initiative 4s, but you're trading with other Initiative 5s, which is a lot of the field right now, and you're just getting bullied by Initiative 6, which is the best ship in the game right now, Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon for the Rebels. You're getting bullied by him. Sure, he's not hard to hit, he's not hard to arc dodge, but if he shoots you, he's going to shoot you. He's going to get 3 hits, and you have to hope your green dice and mods hold up. The other big I6s, we have Poe Dameron. Initiative 6 goes anywhere he wants to do, does anything he wants to do, will hit you if he wants to hit you, will get away from you if he wants to get away from you. Kylo just kind of loses that. Other big one, Anakin Skywalker, very, very similar to Poe, goes where he wants, does what he wants. His is a little less big flashy and a little more of like, I'm always spinning. But similar situation, bullies Kylo, always moves after, always shoots before. Really hard for Kylo to deal with. And in this case, we see the fact that all I5s is kind of hard to deal with because you're just trading with them. You can kill them, sure. You're going to kill one of them, most likely. But even if you do, they're going to shoot back and maybe hurt you just as much, which was the case here. He also doesn't have the ability to just focus rotate like Dan's Kylo does, because it's just a different chassis. Kylo here doing a sloop, which is one of those advanced maneuvers. He does have Fanatical, so I believe we will see a focus. I don't think he did it. Let me double check that Fanatical's triggers are what I think they are. It might be that there's a stipulation of you must be damaged. Let me look. Wrong list. Oh wait, I can do this another way. I can pull up Fanatical. Where is it? Right here. Does that pull it up? Nope, that does not pull it up. Search for card to display. Fanatical. Talents. Yep, so while you perform attack. Oh, that's the wrong one. What am I thinking? Proud Tradition? I'm thinking Proud Tradition. Not even the right card. So Fanatical is while you perform primary attack. If you are not shielded, you may change one focus to a hit. Great ability. Super cheap. Always take it. It's fine. It's 1 point. You don't care. The one I was thinking is actually Proud Tradition, which I don't think we have on many of these at all, which is here, while you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you can perform focus actions even while stressed. Bada bing, bada boom. There is a stipulation, though, after performing an attack. If you are stressed, the defender may suffer or may spend 1 focus token or suffer 1 crit to flip this card. whether or not you flip the card is very situational. I've flipped it because I had 10 health left and didn't care, but I've also not flipped it because I didn't want to spend a focus that would have been bad or take a critical damage. Nonetheless, he didn't have it, so he didn't get a focus. That's okay. He's kind of out of the fight, which is better for Dan because it saves his points. And he has 2 force to help him out, which each change of focus mod if they need to. 5 straight here from LeHughes. I believe it's a bump if they're touching. So he does bump. He's going to scoot back there. A little unfortunate because he can't choose what actions he wants, but he can take a red focus if he'd like. This might be a situation where he doesn't if he thinks he is not going to need it. The big thing that this stops is that this focus bump, you cannot perform other actions after. So there's no linking to a rotate, which is what he really wanted to do. So he does take it anyways. He thinks his blues are good enough. He's not going to worry about it.
Drugs on my Malus.
Malus pops drugs. And what was her action?
To lock LeHughes.
Got it. This is actually super good for Dan because he bumped. Therefore, can't use any of those mods anyways at range 0.
I won, so I go first.
Cisco won, so his I5s are shooting first. Malus range 1 into...
Oh, I already said it. No.
And we got
Hit crit.
hit crit into somebody.
Gaelic.
Gaelic.
Yep, so...
1 evade. Takes a crit, but because he suffered a critical damage, even if he had shields, he now loses his crate, which is good for the scenario. Did I score scenario? Yes, I did. So, pops off the box, meaning he will no longer score 1 point at the end of round for having it. Very good for Cisco, because if he's going to claw back, that's kind of the first place to start, is stop these guaranteed points. Looks like Cisco's other 5s do not have a shot, therefore it goes to Norby's. We have Gaelic shooting into Scorch or DT, I can't tell which one. I would think it's Scorch just because of previous positions. And Scorch claimed a box. So, yep, it was Scorch because DT already had a box, can't carry more than 1. So Scorch has no mods here. So this is testy. It'd be 3v3, and that works out. Red dice are more likely to hit than evade dice are to evade, as in there are more hit results on red dice than there are evade results on greens. So it's ion attack, so boost that attack by 1. Cisco rolling dice off the board because he's dumb. Rolls 2 evades, so takes no damage. So Kylo has no shot. We have LeHughes shoots. Yeah, definitely no shot because his turret is facing backwards, which means he only has the bullseye front arc. LeHughes now shooting range 0 into Malorus. Has to only roll 2 dice because it's range 0, which means you can't add any dice and can't modify said dice. So nothing, and Malorus doesn't need to roll anything, but he rolls just to flex. So this is DT into there. Cannot roll an additional die because he's already strained. Gets hit crit anyways. So spends his focus, gets 2 evades, lives by 2 as well. So no damage there. End of the round, Cisco scores 3 objectives to Dan's 1 or 0. Dan's 1. Boop, boop, boop. And Dan scores 1. And now we have a game. Dan is only up 3 points, and he has a ship that's worth 4 kind of limping away. And Cisco's in a relatively good position to chase after. The big question mark asterisk if here is Dan's Kylo on the far right there. Now regen's back up to full force. Is the full power of the dark side that he always wanted to be. And can just turn in and intercept anybody going in to chase after LeHughes. The other big thing is that the one that would be doing that on Cisco's end is DT. And DT is initiative 4. Therefore, he could if the dice worked out, one-shot DT and remove him from shooting. The other big thing is that Kylo's actions include jamming, which could remove any mods that DT has in the first place. Meaning, not only is he more likely to do damage on the attack because DT has no mods for defense, if he lives, he also has no mods for attack purposes. Therefore, really not that scary of a shot. We'll see how it all plays out. We also have Dan's Blackout, which is the ship on the bottom left. Likely going to see a 2-hard into the fight back here. He is untouched and really doesn't care about getting shot. He's initiative 5. He'll trade with everybody. So he can just 2-hard in, choose where he wants to shoot, and shoot them. Big, I think still a deficit. I don't know why I said big 3 times in a row. I'm getting tired. But there is a deficit here. Still on Cisco's side. He's got to make points up somewhere. Having 3 objectives is a good way to do it because he's scoring 3 unless Dan does something to pop them off. And to pop all of them off, you have to kind of shoot different things. Cisco playing Jenga here. Who knows why? You keep going. Pop off, King. But we'll see if he can kind of pull this out. I imagine a lot of Cisco's things are either turning back in or rushing down and kind of just clenching for what comes at him because he needs to remove ships off the board here. And Kylo is somewhat hurt and Hughes is very hurt. So there is a pathway to victory in the way of you can just kill those ships and hope you aren't trading anything for it. But like I said, it's initiative 5 versus 5-5 and 4-4. You might just lose your initiative 4s and you're just kind of stuck. So we'll have to see where his plan is here, what sneaky things he does. I've always known Cisco to kind of be non-traditional the way of I always expect him to do one move and he just doesn't, and my ankles are broken. I'm screwed. I'm sad. I'm crying. My dice fail me. I'm crying even more. 1 hard from Scorch, I believe. Going down, just basically pivoting, turning one side. Gonna take a focus. I would assume. Yes, takes focus. Ready to shoot somebody who comes at him. Likely Blackout. To bank, saying, Kylo, I don't care that you're here. I'm going to slap you anyways. See if it works out for him. You might be high on the fact that he got away with it before when he shouldn't have. We'll see if it works this time. I foresee a 2 or 3 bank from Kylo into a jam to get rid of that focus token, and meaning his attack is way better. But the big thing is he doesn't have a rotate jam. So unless he has the bullseye, he's got to flip his arc around somehow. And that might save the Hughes from losing that focus mod. The 3 sloop here from Cisco's the Hughes. Does not have anything special like I was talking about before. All those cool toys I was saying, nobody had them. I was just making stuff up. They could make them, but Cisco made the wrong call apparently. I don't think it's objectively the wrong call. I think his loadout's perfectly fine. But in this situation, he would have rather had the other things. We're seeing a 2-hard from Cisco's Malorus. Should fit over this. We know enough as players that this should pop over. Well, if you were touching, it should always just fit. Yeah. Does it 2-hard. Gets his choice of action. Has a lock on Hughes right now, but is likely going to lock Malor or Kylo. Because he still has his pop drugs ability, meaning changes all focus to evades or hits. It's fine to take a lock. It takes measure distance, gets to range 3, takes a lock on Kylo. And now Kylo's a little threatened. He's a little scared. If B gets into that Malorus, he's taking a 3-dice attack. Unless he jams, and if he jams, he's not going to have anything but the Force himself. So we'll see how he decides to navigate that. Good thing is he's moving second, therefore he gets to choose what he wants to do. And because he's choosing, he has the priority of, okay, I want this or I want this, and can make the best choice for himself. We'll see where that goes. I'm not. If I knew his maneuver, I could maybe make a call. But there's so many options he could have. He could just turn out and break ankles. He could go, you know what? No, I'm gonna do like a 2-bank and barrel roll and say no. I don't want to be in this. I elect not to get shot today. We're seeing a 2 hard from Blackout as we suspected. Now he gets to choose what he wants to do. Likely a focus into reposition of some sort. We know that Scorch has Malorus, or Cisco's Malorus is full, but Scorch is down to 3 hull. I think he already has range 1.
I have 1 drug.
They're just talking. Malorus has 1 drug left, therefore she will likely pop it this turn. Blackout. It's a tough call, but I think I like Scorch, just because of the fact that you could initiative kill him if it goes poorly for Cisco, and he's got a box. Like, you're not really as scared of his shot because you're full health, and if you pop off that box, you're getting rid of one of Cisco's win conditions. So we do see the claim of the focus, and not going to reposition. Okay, so he's going to be a range 2 shot, I believe. Looks like this is not what he meant to do. So Dial likely slipped. Cisco saying, hey, we're good sports here. This is a casual game. Do what you think you were going to do. I believe that that's what you meant to do. One of those things. It happens in casual. In a tournament, you might not let it happen just because, Dial is law. But we would rather play best versus best here, at least for practice purposes. And it kind of feels bad to lose off of something that you didn't intend to do. So we're just going to go. It's fine. They're good players. They're good friends. We're all good. If that was Caleb, I would have definitely not let him do it just because it's Caleb, but that's fine. We see all focus rotate from him, putting his arc backwards, getting ready to shoot somebody. Kylo now in a great position. The only one in the bullseye right now is Malorus, therefore he can only shoot Malorus unless he rotates his main attack forward. But he might elect just to put everything he can into Malorus. There may be a way that a boost forward fits, but I also don't hate a focus jam because you could just focus jam and jam the...
I believe you. You're good.
Yeah. Does he have stress still?
He did that 3 banks of blue.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just see the big stress token. I didn't know whose it was.
Oh.
Is that the one he's supposed to clear?
Yes, because
Yeah. So it's just it's space trash. It's space trash. It's space trash. We knew it was space trash. XQ Order 66. Unfortunately, there are no Jedi here, but I do think there's a way that he can kill somebody here. You, Randall, that is a faction. Separatists are a faction. Palpatine is in the game. He is a super annoying. He's a crew, not a pilot, so he goes on somebody else's ship. I hate dealing with them. It's just the worst. But Republic is also a faction. Super fun Jedi. They play kind of full ace, or they spam bodies in clones that then say, hey, we're going to defend for you. Super cool faction. Cisco normally actually flies Republic, but he's branching out right now. Let's see, we got a bank boost. Already claimed to do it, so he should do it. He's seeing if this is going to line up the back arc, and while also arc dodging both of them. And I believe it does. Excellent move. Now we'll likely jam. Rotating. Doing a boost rotate. Interesting. Is he planning on... He's likely planning on shooting Scorch. So he broke the ankles of DT. Looks like he broke Malorus' ankle. Malorus is still going to pop her drugs just to try to stay alive. I think it's a fine call. But this is the power of losing initiative, is now you have full option of what you want to do. Got rid of 2 attacks. Amazing. But there is a range 3 from LeHughes into Kylo. Oh, LeHughes' ability is you may spend your allies' locks as your own. Rolls hit into Kylo. Kylo Fine. Rolls plenty of evades. Gonna hit, as it should be. Let's be honest. Should have dodged that, and he did. Cisco's other initiative 5 does not have a shot. So it goes to Dan's initiative 5s. Just choosing now who he wants to shoot. Dan doing some mental math here of choices of when and when not to shoot. Math isn't great on any of these because they all have 3 evades. If it were me, I think I go into Scorch, because if you remove that, it's removing an objective point and also removing a ship before it's shooting, negating his activation and basically saying he was never there in the first place. It is only 3 points to kill him, but you're ahead, and at this point you want to keep things as alive as long as possible.
Well, I would start with
He's debating here on who to engage with first, because once you choose a ship to shoot, you can't go back on it. So he's debating on what shot to take. He's going to start with Kylo. So Kylo spending a force to shoot a mag pulse warhead. Kylo has an ability, or has a upgrade called instinctive aim. It is basically, hey, I use the force to shoot this munition that I shouldn't be able to shoot. Does it. Spends 1 more force to get 3 hits or crits. None of this matters because mag pulse says if you hit, which means if you take any damage whatsoever from this attack, instead of the damage you would receive, you suffer 1 critical result, 1 jam, which pops off the green token, and 1 deplete, which means you roll 1 less attack dice. So 3 things happen. First, critical damage is suffered. So face up card. Structural. Ooh, yeah, Scorch is dead this turn. He should be dead. First off, rolls 1, suffers a crit. Structural damage says you roll 1 fewer defense dice whenever you defend. Goes down to 2 hull. Suffers a jam, which gets rid of the focus token he has, and then suffers 1 deplete, which is the red token on him now. Only 2 health, so Blackout is going to shoot range 1, maybe 2. Range 1, so rolling 4v3. Focus versus no mods. Structural damage, so only 2 on Cisco's side. Spends for 4 results, only rolling 2. Got 1 evade, but suffers 3 damage and dies. Yeah, he's dead anyways. Cisco correcting me. You've rolled nothing. Regardless, he's overkilled. Crit in there, direct hit, does more damage. It's just milling the deck at this point. It's fun to do. It doesn't actually matter. So Dan scoring 3 more points here. Also putting the crate back on the board, so Cisco will not score points there. And the score is now 16-10. We've got... He actually did a kind of execute Order 66 here, or Kylo just said, I'm angry, I'm going to kill you, and then killed him.
He has barrage. Oh, you are talking about well, the range matters, because if that's range 1, it is range 1.
And things, there's no benefit to barrage at that range.
Nope.
Yeah, there's only... Yeah,
So I'll just think about
So Lahew's shooting into the other Lahew's, range 1. 3 dice attack for the back arc. Normally it's 2, but range 1 adds a attack die. So 3 with a focus into Malorus, who only has the Malorus abilities to change focuses to evades. Looks like 1 evade and 2 blanks, so suffers 1 damage. Go over here. Malorus suffers 1, goes into shields. We have a shot into Gaelic now. Just 2 hits. Gaelic rolls a 1 and takes a shield damage card. Gaelic somewhere took a damage, I believe. Gaelic, where are you? Oh no, who did you shoot at? Malorus? Shot somebody. Who was that last attack into?
Gaelic into Malorus.
Gaelic into Malorus. Okay, so Malorus on 2?
Yeah.
Okay, and then crates, you score 2, he scores 1?
Yeah, I think it's over now, honestly.
Cisco scores 2, you score 1. So 17-12.
Should be 17-12.
Okay, I missed one somewhere, so that's fine. It's going to be really hard for Cisco to come back here. It's one of those, you probably play it out just to try. I mean, Kylo is still on 3. LaHughes is still on 2. Killing either of them, if you kill Kylo, you go up to 15 or 18. Your 2 boxes get you to 20. If you kill LaHughes, you go to 17. 2 boxes get you to 19. But all of this has a big asterisk of you cannot lose another ship. If you lose another ship, he automatically gets to 20 and is at 20. Now, you don't win until the end of the round, but whoever has more points, if you're both over 20, wins. If he loses a ship, there's a good chance that Dan gets 1 extra point from objectives, yada, yada, yada. There is a way to win. It's just going to be very difficult. We'll see if Cisco can pull anything out. His ships are kind of in weird spots to do so. So we'll see what he decides to do maneuver-wise. Likely a lot of 1 hards and sloops and blue maneuvers like the top ship up there. Dan could really just run, honestly. Blackout can do like a 3-bank, pick up a box, and not care. Other ships can pick up whatever box they see and basically say, hey, I'm not going to do much damage to you, but I'm scoring as many points as you let me score because you're not able to knock all of these boxes off. And that might be the right call. And just say, you know what? You're fine. I'm going to have 3 crates. Unless you get all 3 of these crates popped off of me, I win the game. He could also just say, hey, the ship is only on 2 health. I'm going to try to kill it. I want violence. I'm a violent person. And maybe he doesn't. That one is less guaranteed, but also more pressure on Cisco because he's not free to shoot as he wishes. Let's see. I don't know what I would do in this situation. It's kind of difficult. I would have to really sit and think, although Cisco looks like he is ready to go. He has a plan. We'll see if it's the right one. Looking at his board, looking at his dice, thinking, overthinking, thinking again. Rubbing his face. He doesn't know. He's stressed out. He's shaking his dice in terror. Fiddling, planning. I'm just trying to wig him out more. It's not working. I should stop, but it's okay. Oh, he's doing math. I see him counting things on his fingers. I can see the wheels turn in his head. We'll see what happens. Oh, does he have something? I just saw the light bulb moment. Is he going to change? He's squinting a little bit now. Dan, still deciding dials. He's just kind of choosing how to get out of this without bumping himself. Or how to execute his perfectly desired plan. Alright, looks like Cisco's not going to change anything. Believe. No. Alright, rolls. Focus, hit, blink. So Cisco is first player, which is not great because it means Dan's I5s can move after his I5s. We see a sloop here, I believe. Yep. Whoop, turning his arc around, getting ready to shoot. Takes a stress token. Pattern Analyzer says I may perform an action before gaining the token, which would be a focus. So he will have a decent attack, and his ability won't matter because his is the straining one. So Scorch was the one where if you're stressed, you can't add dice. DT is the one that is if you're strained, you cannot add dice. Slightly different things. You can't perform actions while stressed. Strain is you roll 1 less defense dice. Both red tokens, both annoying to have, but different properties. Seeing a 1 bank from LaHughes, likely just to either focus or claim a box. Focusing to go for kills here. Kind of need to. The pressure's on to score points somewhere. And that is it for Cisco's ships. We see a 2 hard from, assuming that's LaHughes. Or Gaelic, that was Gaelic. Yeah, that was Gaelic. Picks up a box and says, I'm going to force this outcome to be in my favor. Yep. Blackout doing a 3 bank. Oh, 3 straight. Really just yeeting himself in there, maybe forcing a bump. Okay, it does not bump. Range 1 gets to choose here. if he wants to go for violence or just get out. He could barrel roll to the left and be fine. He could focus roll to the left. Option. You could barrel roll, but he cannot claim in rogue position because while you are carrying a crate, you may not reposition at all. So right now he has 2 shots coming in, and he knows that's everybody's move that is moving. So he might elect to claim just to say, I've got all of them. Or he might elect to shoot and try to pop something away. He's deciding here. I don't think there's really a wrong call. It's kind of how you want to play it. There's something to say of like just being as safe as possible because maybe Blackout does die. Cisco says boost all scared, like a boost fits here. Not a straight boost, but a bank boost I believe hops over either. Doesn't get him a shot, but he's not dying. He's getting out. Doesn't really matter. Probably not the call I would do. I think if anything I either just focus or I just claim. Or I focus roll and just knock a shot at all. But we'll see what his decision is.
Probably don't kill the dude.
Them talking it out. He's saying if you're just there, there's a decent chance you just kill Hughes. But
What is your goal? Because like I can't do anything. So what is your goal?
yeah, Cisco saying, well, what's your plan? Maybe we can talk about this together.
There's no if you can't spare one. Yeah. You can act like I can't do anything, so you can tell me everything you're doing. Yeah.
If it gets knocked out, but I kind of want you to shoot it.
Yeah.
Also just
When I came up and I saw my first hand, I was like, oh god.
I would not. Well, I mean, so you have one less shot. You got this shot, which is not. I mean, you got 2 4s.
They're discussing the options here. Dan's saying, who do I want you to shoot at? And I think claiming might be the right call just because, as they're discussing, it takes pressure off of Kylo.
Just white card,
And that also means that in order to stop him from winning, it forces a shot onto Blackout, which now means Kylo doesn't die. Because if he keeps that box, then he has 3 objectives and will score 3 points unless Cisco does something. It would be a 4 into 3 with marksmanship, so there's a decent chance it pops it off, but it does stop a shot from Kylo. Okay, we do see a focus roll here. Arc dodges, will not get shot by Hughes, will not pass go, will collect his 200, whatever it is. But Hughes doesn't get anything. We'll see how it pays off. Maybe it does something. I don't know. Kylo doing a 4 straight. Getting out of dodge. Choosing what he wants to do. He could also just elect not to do anything. Just take a focus and clench. I don't know if they have an evade. If they had an evade, that would be the best option because you can. Evade means your defense is super solid. An evade is a token that says you may spend this green token to change any green result to an evade result. So between that and the force, he's likely going to get max evades. Dan kind of deciding here what he wants to do. I think you kind of already in the mode of keep everybody alive.
I think the most beneficial. Yeah. I think evade because that guarantees you live unless he has a shot.
Just takes the evade. I think that's a fine call. Keep him alive. Don't let him score those 5 points. And see a 3 hard here. castles his points. It says you're not going to score these. I have a box. I'm going to score this. So where we're at now, I believe Norby will score 2 points at the end. Cisco will score 1 point. Looking at all the objectives. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one.
So my 5.
I don't think Norby has 3. I think he just has 2. So does Cisco have 2 as well?
So yeah, we'll do range 2. Hopefully I get
Yep.
some luck.
Goes range 2 into Kylo. Unlikely, but it could happen. He would have to do like hit crit natties.
Okay, well, yeah, you only roll 2, so you'll be fine.
So 2 hits. Kylo rolls 2.
You should probably just spin the evade. Because you're not. There's no. This, I doubt, has a charge. So yeah, you just spin the evade.
Yeah. Kylo just spends the evade, gets 2 results, takes no damage. I think that's all the shots we're going to see. Oh, Blackout has shots. Blackout range 1 here. 4 dice with a focus into 3 dice. 2 dice with a focus. Hit, crit. Rolls 1 squiggle, takes 3 shields. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean much because there's no half points. Some scenarios do say when a ship is brought half or below, you score half their points value, rounded down. But that is not the case for this one.
Maybe I can knock off the box.
Cisco looking to knock off a box here. Maybe say, hey, I have an extra turn.
Okay, 1.
1 crit into Gaelic, rolling 3 with no mods. Says no, I'm not going to get by that. That puts the score to 19 to 15. Cisco has 2 boxes. So 2 more for Norby, 2 more for Cisco, and 19 to 15. Norby just has to basically run with every ship he has, and
We've been playing fast. It's 3 minutes?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's 3 minutes. This is the last round. Yeah, you guys have been playing very quick.
I played quick games.
Yeah,
Well, I've also been, thank you, because I've been really working on trying to play quick. Because I play
yeah. You guys have gotten like 5 or 6 rounds in.
I think this is around 6 if my calculations
Yeah.
are correct. Yeah.
So that's that. You're at the average, at the very least.
So I still think there's not much I can do.
They're discussing out loud now. Cisco doesn't have a ton of options. He would have to kill something. It would be killing Kylo. Killing Kylo does get him to 20. The only issue is that because Dan has 2 crates, he will score 2 naturally, and that puts him to 21. To Cisco's, but if Cisco kills Kylo and keeps both crates, it would put him to 22, which is a 1-point victory. So maybe that is the call, is to do what you can to kill Kylo and keep your 2 boxes while also keeping all the ships alive. It's not easy. Some might say it's impossible. But if there's a will, there's a way. I don't know if that's what he's going to do. Who fucking knows? Maybe he doesn't even see it. Maybe I'm just talking shit and it doesn't actually work. Maybe I'm doing bad math. I've been known to do bad math. But both players thinking, I believe Cisco knows what he wants. He's probably thinking about this last turn too, of like, what exactly do I need to do to make this optimal? So we'll see where this goes. Cisco can be seen doing finger math here. I do finger math too. Debating, questioning, thinking. Looks like he's changing his options here. Unfortunately, where he's at, one of his ships just isn't going to be able to shoot. So he's kind of doing this with only LeHughes and DT, which can be pretty powerful. You've got 2 essentially 3 dice attacks, but LeHughes or DT has to do a blue maneuver in order to clear his strain to get that extra dice, and like Kylo can just leave, and it's really hard to catch up to Kylo at this point. He could just 5 straight. He knows this is the last round. He knows that if Kylo lives, he doesn't lose the game. So I think a 5 straight is what I would do. Just 5 straight out of there, boy. Get out of here. You're alive. Live. Live. But we'll see what happens. Still thinking. Cisco playing the June move and rolling his dice to threaten that he's ready. 2 ice balls rolled. Norby 1 initiative, but Cisco's initiative 4 still moved first. So
So what got me was like a specific thing
okay, so this is the other option that I just kind of forgot is if Cisco pops off all boxes everywhere, then he can stop him from winning. You can say you don't score any extra points unless you kill a ship, therefore you do not get to 20, and I have another turn of stim, even though this is the last turn. They're out of time. X-Wing, that is timing around. He might have been trying to move it along just to say, hey, we got to move fast. But they were both kind of thinking about the whole time. Norby saying he could barrel roll, but he actually can't because he's carrying a crate. And while you carry a crate, you may not reposition, which is you may not slam, boost, or barrel roll. Blackout saying, I'm going to 5 straight out of here. Fortress my points. Cisco saying, I'm very happy you did that. We'll see what happens. I'm just mocking him. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, there's no way. So, if you wanted to play numbers, why didn't you try to get those 5s to get it? Oh, well, the thing is, I need 1. Well, I can't kill him. There's no way I can kill him.
There's a way. It would be you roll 3 hits into 3 hits, and he rolls all blanks into all blanks.
And it's 5 straights, yep.
Yep. So, basically, Norby just saying, I'm going to 5 straight with everybody, get everything out. It doesn't matter. So now it's on if Cisco's LaHughes can kill Kylo, which is very unlikely. So 3 hard, doesn't matter, just gonna focus. It would be a 3 something. 2 bank. You might have a shot there. You might have a shot. It's so close. I can see the line from where I'm at, and it's so close. This is where Cisco comes to the other side and looks and maybe makes a judgment based on that. But he has to shoot in order to get it. He's going to bank on the fact that he has it. I think he might. He's got a butt shot. So Dan's LaHughes has a range 3 butt shot into Cisco's LaHughes. He's going to shoot barrage rockets out the back, which normally a ship cannot do, but their ability is you must use your turret arc as the requirement for your missiles and torpedoes. So, shoots 1, Cisco gets 1 evade. Doesn't matter. Yeah, there was a chance he died there, but it wasn't super likely because it's 3v2. You would have to do 3. It'd be 3 hits into blankouts. Do you measure? You're not done yet, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like I was gonna say, you measure your LaHughes, right?
So it comes down to that shot.
Yeah. If he has Kylo, because you should check it.
I'll check it.
Yeah. Because from my side, it looks like he might have it. Okay, so he does have the shot, which would be if he can get 3.
So here's the thing. If barrage rockets into that, I guarantee a crit and a reroll. And if I kill that, that's 1 less box. So that'll bring you up to 19, bringing us even. And then I will score 2 points. And I will win that. So I'm barrage rocking LaHughes.
Apparently, Norby's at 18, not 19, which changed a little bit of the math. It might not actually matter, but
That was 1 charge. I'm gonna spend my last charge to reroll.
So rolling focus hits. So hit crit.
Won't kill you.
Hit crit won't kill, but if it does any damage, the crit goes through and pops off the box.
Gets paint. You just need paint.
But needs 2 paint.
Yeah, there you go.
Got 2 paint.
Okay.
Game is over. Norby scores 2 points, getting him to 20. Cisco scores 2, getting him to, so I'm going to say this louder, so sorry if I break your ears. Even like you putting Kylo there, it was still a close game.
It was a close game.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is that you lost Kylo very quick.
I lost my Kylo and let his Kylo get away.
Yeah. But your Kylo is worth like 3 of his ships.
Oh, yeah, no.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely did not play it right.
Like, in the other side of it is like, if that was Anakin, Anakin dies.
Yeah,
If that's Poe, Poe dies.
Everyone
like,
dies in that position.
Yeah. So it's not even like a Kylo issue, it's just like a bad
It's,
spot.
I put him in a bad spot.
Yeah.
I guess after I did that shot, I should have just bailed the hell out.
Yeah.
Come back next turn.
It's also hard because it's like, you wanted him to shoot and do damage, but it just so
Goose could've
happened.
done that damage. I
Yeah.
could have gone out, still did the lock, and then boosted. So
Yeah.
like, who's his double mod?
I think keeping him with the other ships was both good and bad
It's
because it gives you like this threatening block, but because you're everybody's I5, his block is just as threatening.
Yeah, that was the wild thing. It's
Yeah.
Like, normally, like, oh, variance, but when road roll matters this much.
Yeah, like,
yeah, I got my
and like even in that turn, I think you all do the same move regardless of who goes first or second. But being all I5 means like even if Kylo does his job and does damage, he just is gonna get hit back at the same initiative and take a lot
Yeah.
or maybe die.
I also don't think the the initiative 4 guys are worth it. I was hoping because it's a 4 extra dice, but I got a feeling they're just not worth it.
Yeah. What else would you bring?
So this is.
Oh, you have Midnight.
I bring Midnight and
Yeah.
I bring what's his name? The guy
Right.
who was
And Midnight can do
Pattern, Analyzer, and other thing.
or can't it take squad leader?
I could do squad. Not the same.
I6 coordinate.
Oh, I could bring the initiative 7 guy too.
No.
No.
Yeah, I've seen people play him. It kind of fixes your problem of
Do I do
all
Midnight
I5.
null then?
Maybe you could try it,
But
but I would want if you're doing both of those, I would say Midnight actually do like damage upgrades, not swarm tactics
yeah.
or slash or not. Although swarm, if it has enough for swarm tactics, bumping Kylo up to I6 might be big brain Rube Goldberg thing that I'm not good at, but you could be good at. Anyways, we're gonna be done here. I'm gonna end stream and start packing up my stuff because I didn't pack it up yet. Great game to these guys. Excellent time seeing long play.
Saying, hey, you have that ability. And
No.
I mean, again, I've never found this list.
Yeah, Cisco saying, "Hey, sorry for like kind of backseating a little bit by pointing out your abilities," but Dan is just, "No, I'm good. I'm learning. It's all good. We're here to have fun and to learn." So Dan has the box for some of these ships right next to us. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you later. Chase Baffle signing out. Thanks Randall for stopping by, saying hi. Thank you MSW for talking.
null and swarm tactics.
And thank you, Aaron, for saying hi. We will see you guys next time. Peace.